comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, or team representatives will not be tolerated. These actions are grounds for removal from the Grant Center. Also, consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages is prohibited. Good evening and welcome to the Grant Center for tonight's USA South Conference matchup featuring the Knights of Southern Virginia University and your Cougars of Averett University. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise and honor America with the playing of our national anthem as recorded by the Averett Singers.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now let's meet tonight's teams. First, the reserves for Southern Virginia. Number 2, Jelaine Peterson. Number 6, Sadie Barris. Number 7, Julia Monson. Number 8, Jessie Fry. Number 12, Brooklyn Porter. Number 15, Jessica Inslee. Number 20, Mallory Rath. Number 21, Ella Burrows. Number 25, Ashlyn Stonewall. And now the starters for Southern Virginia. Number 3, Brenna Clyde. Number 4, Sydney Hopkins. Number 9, Taryn Karchner. Number 10, Ellie Warnick. Number 11, Courtney Pinkston. Number 14, Caitlin Chamberlain. And number 16, Emma Steiger. Head coach for Southern Virginia is Debbie Baker. And now let's meet the reserves for your Cougars from Averett. A freshman from Davidson, North Carolina, number 1, Rachel Renajesic. A sophomore from Kingsport, Tennessee, number 2, Mackenzie Compton. A sophomore from Troutman, North Carolina, number 7, Skylin Oswald. A freshman from Roxborough, North Carolina, number 8, Kaylee Gentry. A junior from Collinsville, Virginia, number 9, Jessica Bean. A sophomore from Danville, Virginia, number 11, Sarah Marlowe. A senior from Nidell, North Carolina, number 13, Devin Lassiter. A senior from Danville, Virginia, number 14, Gray Cavazzoli. A sophomore from Statesville, North Carolina, number 16, Destiny McIntosh. A freshman from Jacksonville, North Carolina, number 20, Juliana Erickson. And a senior from Creedmoor, North Carolina, number 23, Zamaya Mangum. And now it's time to meet the starting lineup for your Averett University Cougars. A junior from Creedmoor, North Carolina, number 3, Lauren Montrin. A senior from Wilmington, North Carolina, number 6, Sarah Shropshire. A sophomore from Virginia Beach, Virginia, number 10, Erin Gray. A freshman from Monroe, North Carolina, number 12, Carly Deason. A junior from Cornelius, North Carolina, number 15, Morgan Barnes. A freshman from Danville, Virginia, number 19, Kinsley Stevens. And a sophomore from Monroe, North Carolina, number 22, Emma Nash. Cougars are coached by Danny Miller. He's assisted by Madison Dedez and Mackenzie Miller. Athletic trainer for the Cougars is Maria Choa.
welcome inside the Grant Center. We have a USA South showdown on hand tonight. I'm Heath Barner on the Averett Sports Network, joined by my on-air partner, Chris Richmond. And Chris, we are in for a good one. These are two teams picked 1 and 2 in the USA South East Division preseason poll. The Cougars picked 1, and the Knights of Southern Virginia picked 2. Should be a good one. Cougars are coming off a loss last time here in this gym in a 5-setter on senior night against Pfeiffer. Obviously looking to bounce back.
Yeah, that was a dogfight out here in the Grant Center. Last match versus Pfeiffer went 5 sets. Absolute dogfight. I think it in the 5th set it went past 15, and the Cougars ended up losing 17-19. So, you know, hard-fought match. Definitely not how you want senior night to end if you're the Cougars. But a couple storylines here for tonight. You know, obviously, like we just mentioned, Averett are looking to rebound based off that last matchup in a conference matchup with a good win here tonight, especially against the number 2 preseason ranking Southern Virginia right here. But the Knights are coming in on a 6-match winning streak through a tri-match wins over William Peace University and Meredith College, 2 strong teams there as well. So,
yeah, they're 3-0 in the USA South and 11-2 overall. Cougars, they're 10-3 and 2-1 in the USA South. So, like I said, should be a good one tonight as the Knights get us rocking and rolling with the first kill of the game. This is Julia Monson. Serves that one out of bounds, all back even. A lot of highs and lows in that Pfeiffer match, Chris. So I am intrigued to see just how the Cougars respond to adversity tonight and try to get this thing, you know, we say back on track, but they're 10-3, but to their standards, they need to get back on track. Stevens runs over, gets it up to Mangum with a roll. Mangum enters the game and gets a kill.
And, you know, going back to that Pfeiffer match on senior day, there's a lot of things that, you know, was going on in that game. A lot of things you could have been like, this could have went here, this could have went there. A lot of adversity through that game. But you also have to look towards Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer played a great game getting their hands on the ball a lot on that front row, which, you know, the Cougars were having a tough time trying to respond to, trying to finish kills and stuff like that. So, you know, it'd be interesting to see what the Cougars took away from that game coming into, you know, a very tough matchup here tonight.
That's right. As Emma Nash puts it down, Cougars on a 3-0 run. Lauren Montran sends it over. A tip in the middle from the Knights. Now another play at the net. A tip again. That's Caitlin Chamberlain. This is Shropshire now. Dug up by Emma Steiger, the libero for the Knights. Shropshire again puts it straight down.
And that's definitely someone you want to keep their eyes on tonight. Sarah Shropshire, I believe, 2 times in a row, USAC Player of the Week for volleyball. So definitely a top player here for the Cougars, and she's going to have a lot of action here tonight.
You are correct. Took it right out of my mouth. As Gray's just going to have to send a free ball over. The Knights on the slide. Montran on the dig. This is Shropshire again. Full swing, puts it down.
Set up nicely right there by number 19, Kinsley Stevens. Kinsley Stevens actually won USAC Rookie of the Week this week as well. So she's definitely coming into her own being a freshman here for the Averett Cougars.
Yes, she is. This is Gray now. Over to Mangum. Mangum adjusts. Warnock on a jump set. And sailed out of bounds from Sydney Hopkins. Hopkins second on the team in kills with 111. Can't find the hardwood on that one. Cougars with a hot start here in set number 1. Junior Lauren Montran sends it over. Warnock sets up Sydney Hopkins, and she finds her first kill of the game. That one got through the block of Shropshire and Nash.
Nice point right there for the Knights to end a 6-point run there for the Cougars. Cougars looking very nice right there, but SVU was able to come in and slow them down on that run. So
Mangum not accurate there. Had to adjust and put some power on it, but couldn't find that in line. This will be the freshman, Sydney Hopkins from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. to send it over for the Knights. Montran on the serve receive. Stevens over. Back set to Shropshire. And that one sails well out of bounds from Courtney Pinkston, who leads the team in kills. Pinkston 175, 3.8 kills per set, a 216 average. Now I'll send back sophomore libero Aaron Gray. Just a tip there from the Knights. Shropshire's all over it. Stevens out to Mangum. Mangum with a kill.
And sophomore number 10, Aaron Gray, is definitely somebody you want to keep your eyes on when she is serving for the Cougars. I believe she led the team in aces last year for the Cougars, also being a fantastic libero. So,
well, good old commentator's curse right there, Chris. If she heard you say that one, she said, well, I appreciate that. Gray puts it in the net, and Cougars have doubled up the score now on the Knights, but with that side out, Southern Virginia looking to crawl back in here early in set one, and almost an ace, but diving effort from Gray after it bounced off Mangum and Montran. This is Pinkston, who sells it out of bounds. Big momentum play there for the Cougars.
That was an excellent play right there by number 23, Zamaya Mangum. Able to keep that ball in the air. It looked like number 3, Lauren Montran, was not ready for that ball and kind of took it off the chest. It looked like it was about to hit the floor, but Mangum was able to get her hand down and get sort of kind of a pancake right there to keep the ball up, and it worked out for the Cougars right there.
Just great reaction. This is the sophomore Mackenzie Compton coming in to serve, the lefty.
And you know, that's something that's going to come. Zamaya Mangum is a senior here for the Cougars. You know, a lot of volleyball played, so that's one of those heads-up plays that you're going to see just reacting and muscle memory right there.
And timeout for the Knights. We're going to take a look at that play real quick from Gray after that almost serve. We'll take a look at the last one. Nice job by Warnack staying out of the net. And then Compton also staying out of the net here, and Barnes just puts it straight down in a 10-4 lead here for the Cougars in set number one. Head coach Debbie Baker in her 4th season for the Knights said, I've seen enough here in set number one, Chris.
And if you're Coach Danny Miller right here in this situation, this is exactly how you want to see your team respond from a tough loss, especially in a conference setting. You know, bounce back and get as many conference wins as you can. So
right, and especially being at home. You know, not only was that loss to Pfeiffer in 5 sets tough on senior night and everything, but you were on your home floor, and you got to defend home court, and they have a great opportunity tonight against a very quality opponent in the Knights.
And this is definitely a game everybody in the East Division is going to look at. You know, you have 1 and 2. Everybody's going to try to look at this game and get a gauge on who's going to be top dog in the conference this year. So
and you are correct about that. I'll go ahead and shout out William Peace and my sister. They're got the Cougars on Friday at 4 o'clock. They play Virginia Wesleyan tomorrow, but that is a team in this East Division that is for sure keep an eye out on this ball game. Compton gets it started out of the timeout. The Knights on the slide, blocked by Barnes and Mangum.
You know, going back, talking about William Peace, you know, that was kind of the same matchup that we had here tonight. Last year, you know, Cougars and William Peace going neck and neck always for the conference title. So they're definitely a team you want to consider in the mix as well.
Warnack sets up Pinkston, and she puts it down. And finally, the Knights side out, looking to get some type of momentum going here in this set. We'll have a sub come on. That's Brenna Clyde, a freshman from Idaho Falls, Idaho. Chris, that's a long ways.
Oh, yeah, that is a long way.
Ace from the Knights there. That's from the senior setter, Ellie Warnack. And listen to this one, Delta, Utah.
You know, I also play football as well. You know, kind of looking at their roster, they do have a lot of people on their football roster as well from Utah and the western part of the country. So
Gray just able to dig that one up. Almost another ace for the Knights. Compton's there trying to find Beam, I believe. That's Marlowe, excuse me, Sarah Marlowe. That one blocked by the Knights, and Southern Virginia crawling back here in this set.
Southern Virginia taking advantage of a couple miscues here from the Cougars. One, a misread on the ball. They thought they had a little bit more space, led to an ace, and right there, Cougars had a little miscommunication with the point right there, but Cougars, as I'm talking, were able to fight back right there and slow that roll down.
That'll send back the senior, Zamiah Mangum, two-sport athlete here for the Cougars, plays softball as well. Warnock, back set, and a kill.
Zamiah Mangum right there trying to imitate what she did a couple plays before, but just couldn't get enough air on that ball right there.
Pinkston serves it too far, can't find that in line. That'll bring back Morgan Barnes. Barnes, the junior, really came on the scene her freshman year in a conference tournament, and she's taken off ever since. Just like that serve, it sails out of bounds as well. She'll come off the floor as the libero, Aaron Gray, checks back in. And a libero for the Knights goes back to serve. Emma Steiger. Lauren Montre on the serve receive. Nash from Compton blocked.
Excellent block right there by Southern Virginia. And like I mentioned before, that was something that the Cougars were struggling with last game versus Pfeiffer. So if you're Southern Virginia, you definitely was taking notes on that matchup, trying to look at the weak points from the Cougars. You're definitely telling your players to get up and get your hands on the ball on kills as much as possible. So
that one sails out of bounds from the libero Steiger. And Kinsley Stevens, a freshman setter, checks back in. She'll go back to serve. And an ace. Sydney Hopkin wasn't sure. I don't know if she knew that ball was going to be in or not. I partly heard an in real late, so she threw her arms out there and aced up by the freshman Stevens. Warnock has to run a bit. Got a nice ball up there, but Brenna Clyde, the freshman, couldn't get a clean swing on it. Cougars extend their lead back to 6. Back set, and a fantastic hands from Stevens. Montre on the attack, blocked, but out of bounds. Chamberlain and Clyde over there for the Knights. Couldn't keep it in play. Touchdown lead for the Cougars. Warnock over to Hopkin. Now Shropshire has a run in with a tip. Hopkin again rolls. Montran's there. Stevens to Shropshire. Shropshire way outside. That set not as accurate as Shropshire needed it to be. The Knights side out. They'll sub in Julia Monson. She'll go back to serve. Monson sends it well out of bounds, and we've seen a lot of service aces here in set number 1, Chris.
Yeah, a lot, and you're starting to think, is this just first set miscues, or, you know, is this something you really need to talk about coming into your second set? Definitely not something you want to have for like a potential conference championship game looking at the 2 seedings here. That's definitely not something you want to have in this game. So
that's right. When you're headed to a place like the Grant Center to play the Cougars, a top-notch quality opponent, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot like the Knights have so far a few times here in the first set. Montreal on serve receives. Stevens gets it to Nash. Nash puts it down. And timeout. Southern Virginia will take a quick break here on the Averett Sports Network and be right back. Cougars lead 19-12 in set number 1.
What makes Averett special to me is the family-oriented and diverse background and communities. Here at Averett, we believe in one family, one team philosophy. As an RA, being able to guide people in the right direction and building a community helps me develop leadership. Also, being a leader on the football team and captain, it helps me guide people to be better each and every way.
I want to welcome you back into the Grant Center here in Danville, Virginia. I'm Heath Behringer, joined by Chris Richmond on the Averett Sports Network. Cougars off to a nice start here in set number 1, big match, so gotta love the intensity they've come out here to begin. It'll be Aaron Gray getting us started out of the timeout. Just a brief second, gotta get a little spot on the floor, a little wiped up. I will say, Chris, after this floor, I love the floor. It looks like something I'd create on 2K, if I'm being honest. It looks real clean, real sleek. But they've had problems with a lot of moisture getting on it.
You got to think about maybe the floor's not worn in enough. Maybe
Right,
it's
right.
some of the problems coming with that. But I do have to agree. I really like the design of the floor, and the little touch of the Cougar logo inside the three-point line is something I like a lot.
And the Knights come out with a kill out of the timeout. That's exactly what head coach Debbie Baker dialed up. Wanted to get side out of the timeout. 6-point ball game, looking to keep fighting here in set number 1.
And if you're putting up conference championships, especially if you play indoors, you're going to get nice stuff. Men's basketball winning a conference championship a couple years ago, and then volleyball winning two in a row. They both have to play on the court.
Of course, going to look pretty nice.
Yeah, you do good things, you receive good things. So
Stevens up in the net, blocked and put right back down by Karchner.
So far, Southern Virginia benefiting well off of their 2 timeouts. They've come back and scored 2 straight points off of both their timeouts, and forcing Cougars right here to go into their own timeout as well. So,
yep, Danny Miller calls timeout. We'll take a quick break again on the Averett Sports Network and come right back.
Being a student athlete here has definitely pushed me to do things that I have not been able to do in the past. Because of my team, I have opened up more socially, and they have pushed me to be a better athlete and a better student. And I wouldn't be who I am today if it weren't for them.
Welcome back inside the Grant Center. Danny Miller said, I've seen enough. Don't want to let the Knights get too much on a run. I'll take a timeout. And Sydney Hopkin, the freshman from Winston-Salem, is back to get us rolling. Montre on the serve receive. Stevens back set to Shropshire. And dug up nicely by the back line of the Knights. Aaron Gray's there on the dig. Stevens right back to Montran. Now played the net. Barnes just keeps it alive. Mangum outside from Stevens, blocked and out of bounds. Cougars side out of the timeout. Compton will check in, so will Sarah Marlowe. A couple of sophomores coming on the floor for the Cougars now.
And that's something you notice here with the Averett Cougars volleyball team is, they're a very good team. Win a lot of conference championships, but you always see freshmen and sophomores come into the game and rotate into the game a whole lot. They have their core of juniors and seniors that's been here for a while, put up a lot of minutes for the Cougars, but you always see freshmen and sophomores rotating in, getting game experience, so you have to think that's something that contributes to the success later in the future.
That's right. Courtney Pinkston Sells one out of bounds again. Cougars with a touchdown lead now. Closing in on taking set number 1. This is Compton. And she'll put it right in the net. Knights looking to stay alive. Ellie Warnack, the senior setter, is back to serve. Warnack sends it over. Barnes quickly down on the serve receive. Mangum just has to tip it. May have been going out of bounds, but kept alive by the Knights and sailed out of bounds now by Courtney Pinkston.
And like you said, that one looked like it possibly could have went out of bounds on that play by Zamaya Mangum, but you know, we've seen this a couple times before, them kind of second guessing why it gets close to the line. So
Gray with a fantastic dig, but put right back down by the Knights. And yeah, that was libero Steiger. And like you said, it's kind of like she questioned it a bit, just a bit, threw her hands out there and kept it in. I think it was going to float out of bounds, but
that's definitely it definitely looked like a point that got away from them there.
Right.
And maybe one that they, you know, might look back on and kind of eat them up in the future.
And Pinkston, Courtney Pinkston, the junior from Gilbert, Arizona, puts that one into the net. She's the team leader in kills, and she's got a few errors on the night, serving and hitting. Barnes sends it over.
Well, you look at serves in general so far in this first set, it's been a problem on both sides.
Yes, it has, and Lauren Montran blocks that one straight down. Cougars take set number 1 handedly, 25-17. We'll be right back in the Grand Center here on the Averett Sports Network. Welcome back live to the Grant Center. He's Mayor Chris Richmond, bringing you this USA South showdown between the Cougars and the Knights of Southern Virginia. But Averett storms out to a set 1 victory. A commanding win in that first set, Chris.
You know, they played very well, and one thing that they were able to do as well as play very good in the first set. They were able to capitalize off miscues. And that's something you don't want to have, especially like you mentioned before, coming into the Grant Center. And then now we have the addition back with Blue Crew. You know, we have an open gym now, a lot of people coming in. So that's definitely something you don't want to do, because when you get down one set in the Grant Center and then you get everybody chirping in the background, all the students and stuff that come out to support, it's very hard to kind of fight back and beat the Cougars at home.
That's right. Emma Nash gets the Cougars rolling. A kill to start set number 2. Warnock sets the middle Karcher, and she'll get a kill. But I will remind you, last year here in this building, in that spring season, Southern Virginia rolled into town, went down 2 sets, and came back and won that match in 5. So, and that was the season opener for the Cougars. Obviously, the Knights weren't in the USA South just yet, so things a bit different. But a team that will hang around and just keep fighting is the ace from Pinkston there, who is a player I want to keep my eye on throughout this match. Obviously, I talked team leader in kills, and she made a few mistakes, a few errors in that first set. So I'm sure she's going to really want to dial it in and get that competitiveness come out and ball out here in set number 2 and 3 and get her team back in it. This is Stevens to Nash. Nash with just a tip. And Clyde's there. This is Hopkin. And that one blocked by Shropshire, but hit the pin. And the Knights get the point. So Pinkston, the junior, in Gilbert, Arizona, sends it over with her jump serve. Montran on the serve receive. Stevens back set to Shropshire. That one partially blocked. Montran again with the dig. She's just going to have to send the free ball. Warnock with a set quick swing by Karchner. This is Shropshire, sails it out of bounds, no touch.
So here we are in the second set. Early on, Southern Virginia this time jumping out to a quick lead. So this is something you kind of predict to see, especially from a first and second seed matchup like we mentioned before. So
back and forth. Stevens to Shropshire, and she puts it down but out of bounds. I mean, that was close as can be. The line judge had to almost get out of the way from the bounce. I mean, great idea from Shropshire there, trying to go right down the line. But
that was a good effort right there by number 11, Courtney Pinkston, to try to duck and get out the way so it didn't hit her.
Right.
That ball was coming quick. So,
and a heads-up play to get out of the way because it was out of bounds. This is Mangum now. Sailed out of bounds, but a touch by that block from Karchner, along with Clyde, and the Cougars side out finally, down by a field goal.
This looks very similar to the first set, you know. A bunch of consecutive points and then a quick score to stop the momentum. So
Warnock over to Hopkin. Sails out of bounds, but a touch in the net from the Cougars. I'll send back the libero, Emma Steiger. Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. A junior for the Knights. Some upperclassmen, a lot of upperclassmen on this roster for Southern Virginia. Montreal on the serve receive. Mangum in the middle tips it well out of bounds. Mangum in that loss to Pfeiffer only had 1 kill, Chris, and that is somebody for the Cougars. If she's struggling, then they got to look, obviously, Shropshire, and they have Lauren Montra, Morgan Barnes, but when Mangum's struggling, the energy kind of spreads a bit with those hitters, and that's something to also keep our eye on. She'll be fed again. That one dug up by the Knights, but can't be kept alive. So,
and like you mentioned, in the Pfeiffer games, Amaya only having 1 kill, you did notice that Sarah Shropshire had a lot of attempts that night as well. So that's definitely something that switches a lot of the game plan for the Cougars. If she's not on, you kind of have to force it to some of your other people out there.
Right.
And the Cougars perform best when they're able to share responsibility in the front row.
Spread that well. Compton back set to Marlowe. Warnock's there. Just has to be rolled over from Hopkin. Now out to Mangum. dug up by Steiger. That one out of bounds from the freshman Clyde. Cougars back within 2. 3, excuse me. Not a math major, Chris. Mackenzie Compton, a sophomore from Kingsport, Tennessee, sends it over. A dump, and kept alive by Mangum, but nothing doing after that. A fantastic dump from the setter, Ellie Warnick.
I believe that was her second of the night.
Yep.
2 really good dumps right there. Kind of taking a page out of the Cougars' books right there, going back to last year with Mackenzie Miller when she was playing for the Cougars, now a GA for the Cougars. So.
Yep. Barnes puts it down. And Chris, I'll say that's been in the Cougar playbook a lot longer than Mackenzie Miller, man. She had to learn it from somebody that used to wear number 5, Nicole Behringer. Mangum back to serve, sends it over. Knights on the slide. Barnes and Montram were there, but blocked it straight down on their side of the net.
And, you know, going back to talk about setters, you know, we talked about number 19, the freshman Kinsley Stevens, coming in, taking that setter role after Mackenzie Miller graduated. So, you know, she won Rookie of the Week this week, and, you know, that's something that probably Coach Danny Miller is feeling very good about, able to replace a really good setter with another really good setter.
Right. And a fantastic effort by the defense of the Cougars.
Because that's definitely a key position that you want to have with the weapons you have on the Cougars. You want to have a really good setter to put these attacks for the Cougars in the best situations as possible.
That's right. The setter is the quarterback of the team as Barnes sits that one in the net. But you're exactly right. I mean, it's arguably probably the most important position on the floor. You know, they're making the decisions, they're making the plays, and yeah, you're 100% right, Chris. Montreal on the serve receive. Deason, the freshman, just has to keep it alive. Nash does a nice job to get it over. Warnock back set and tipped. Finds the hardwood from Karchner. Timeout. Danny Miller. The nice lead, 11-6. We'll be right back here on the Averett Sports Network.
I think being a student athlete impacts my overall experience a lot. Just gaining a brotherhood with my teammates, and then with all the other teams, a big connection throughout all of athletics, and makes it fun to walk around campus and see everyone you know, and everyone comes out and encourages you at games, so it makes it a really fun environment.
Welcome back inside the Grant Center. I'm Heath Behringer, joined by Chris Richmond.
And you know, so far in the second set, it's almost kind of flipped from the first set. Southern Virginia jumping out to a quick little lead here in the second set, exactly what the Cougars did in the first set. So interesting to see how the Cougars respond here in the second set, facing that adversity.
Now they're doubled up score-wise. At one point in the first set, the Cougars doubled the score up on the Knights, and now Southern Virginia said vice versa here in set number 2. Decent and freshman on the serve receive. Compton, a nice job just to keep that one out of the net. Back set from Warnock, and can't keep it inside the pin. Can Taryn Karchner. Karchner, 6 foot, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Southern Virginia having a couple 6-footers, along with number 3, Brenna Clyde, who is another 6-footer, a freshman. So a lot of height there on the front row for the Knights.
Yeah, they've got a lot. Montran sells that one out of bounds. But about a play before that, my goodness, Courtney Pinkston, the junior, said her name a few times tonight, a leader in kills for the Knights, stepped up, took her approach, and man, she was in the air for a minute, but it was blocked straight right back at her from Shropshire and Nash, I believe. But the Knights were able to handle it and get the point in the end. But my goodness, like I said, Pinkston is a player I want to keep my eye on how she responds after that first set. Nash puts it down from Stevens.
And that's someone that the Cougars want to hear her name a whole lot more is number 22, Emma Nash, after her freshman year campaign. Had a very good freshman year campaign, and someone that's kind of got lost in the mix so far in the second season, but someone who could put up valuable time and put up some valuable points here for the Cougars.
That's right. As Pinkston puts it into the net. And that'll send back Lauren Montran. But, yeah, you're right. Kind of mixed in all the talent they have up front. This is Pinkston with a roll from the back row. And, my goodness, Aaron Gray comes up with a dig, and it just sits on the net, basically, and falls on the Knights side.
And, you know, when you think about it, you think of, you know, getting lost in the mix is kind of a bad thing. But, you know, when you're the Averett Cougars and you have the amount of talent that they have on this team, you know, getting lost in the mix isn't the same as getting lost in the mix everywhere else. You have a lot of talent on that team, and it's very hard to kind of step up and shine over the talent. They do very well of kind of spreading the wealth and having a lot of good players. So,
yeah, if you're Danny Miller, it's not a bad thing. That is for sure. Stevens to Shropshire now. That one blocked straight down. Bangham with a quick tip, but the Knights' defense is all over. That one swung on by Hopkin. Stevens to Nash in the middle, blocked right back at her by Karchner. Courtney Pinkston now back to serve again. 5-point lead for the Knights here in set number 2. Just a bit too much. Couldn't find that in line. And I'll send back the sophomore libero, Aaron Gray. Pinkston on the serve receive. Warnack gives it right back to her, and she'll get a kill from a back row attack. My goodness, they are feeding Courtney Pinkston. Pinkston coming in this ballgame, like I said, 175 kills, basically 4 kills per set. And I mean, she's had 491 attempts coming into this match. As another miscue by the Knights. They have missed at least 6 or 7 serves here in this match so far. Compton checks in along with Sarah Marlowe. And lefty sends it over. Warnack sets nobody, but the Knights are able to get it over. This is Marlowe, dug up by the freshman Clyde. Compton sets Mangum. Sells it out, but in the net are the Knights. Back to a 3-point ball game. Diving is Pinkston. Warnack all the way out wide to Hopkin, who sells it out of bounds.
That ball was smoked, but just had a little bit too high of an angle on it. If that would have been a little bit more down, she would have got the top of it a little bit. That would have been a hard ball to play, but absolutely smoked was that ball.
Compton back to serve, but the Cougars need a mop up real quick on that side. Back to a 2-point ball game here in set number 2. If the Cougars are able to come back and take this set, that would be devastating for the Knights. Out to that early lead. Back set to the freshman Clyde, and she puts it through that block of Barnes and Mangum. Back to a field goal lead now for the Knights.
Very hard so far to build momentum in this one. Momentum is shifting back and forth so far a lot in the second set. And
two hands, yeah, right there, called on Compton.
As I mentioned in that, Southern Virginia scores 2 points. So, I mean,
you've just been having all types of commentators coach tonight, Chris.
I guess. First volleyball game back this year. I guess I have to go through it.
And an ace there. That was from Julia Monson. Monson back to serve again. Monson on the serve receive. Compton over. Gets it to Marlowe, who sails it out of bounds. So it's really been not only momentum, well, a touch there for the Knights, excuse me. And they are very, very surprised at that one. Head coach Debbie Baker is asking for an explanation. Not sure if that was a line judge that called that or the up ref, but it's the Cougars' point. And they side out, which sends Maya Mangum back to serve. Pinkston on the serve receive. A big swing from Chamberlain, the freshman, on the slide. A beautiful, beautiful back set from Ellie Warnick.
And Southern Virginia had a real ball, don't lie moment right there, answering back to the questionable call. So
that's right. This is Hopkin. Now Marlowe with a tip. And a fantastic heads-up play by the senior setter, Ellie Warnick. Everybody was up at the net for the Cougars, and I'm going to send it to the back row. Back to a 6-point lead for the Knights. Nice serve from Hopkin. Now Barnes puts it down.
Monster play right there by Morgan Barnes. Very athletic play right there, and the amount of air that she got under that one was insane.
Warnick with another dump. Compton's there. Barnes just sends it over. Warnick sets Pinkston, but that one partially blocked. Now Montran. Hands on it at the front row from the Knights. Warnick all the way out to Pinkston again, but rolls it. Deason gets it out to Montran. Pinkston's there, and she'll get set. Pinkston everywhere right now for Southern Virginia, and she'll get a kill. My goodness. That's a big momentum play right there, Chris.
Huge momentum play. You thought maybe the Cougars were going to be able to answer off of that huge play by Morgan Barnes, but Southern Virginia, good job to keep that rally going and able to end that momentum that the Cougars built up right there.
Nash blocked at the net. Free ball from the Cougars. Warnick sets her middle, and Karchner will get a kill. So vice versa basically here in set number 2, as the Knights are 2 points away from even in this matchup. Carly Deason, the freshman on the serve receive. Montran gets set outside and sells it out of bounds. Now 1 point away are the Knights. Chris, I hope you don't have plans later, man. This one's going to go back and forth, and I don't predict the future, but I probably feel like we might see a 5-setter.
This definitely so far looks like it's going to be a 5-setter. So
you get two quality teams like this. They're going to go back and forth. Like you said earlier, you talked a little pregame about the Peace matchup. You know, both of those games last year, well, 2 of the 3 went 5 sets, 1 went 4, with the Pacers taking the one here in Danville. But, you get quality opponents head-to-head, and it's going to give you a good one. This is Montran now. Warnock sets up Pinkston, and she'll put it away. And that's it here in set number 2. The Knights of Southern Virginia take it 25-17. We're all even here in the Grant Center in Danville. We'll be right back here on the Averett Sports Network. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back inside the Grant Center. I want to say thank you for joining us here on the Averett Sports Network. I'm Heath Beringer, joined by Chris Richmond. And I'm not going to lie, I need to start working out again. Just jogged up those stadium stairs. And, Chris, I'm going to let you talk for a minute. A fantastic matchup so far.
Yeah, fantastic matchup, like you mentioned, coming into this third set. Each set pretty much has been flip-flop so far. Cougars going out and getting a kind of demanding one in the first set, but Southern Virginia came back and answered right back with the same style that the Cougars did it in the first set, and they got a commanding win in the second set. So definitely a 1-2 type matchup so far, back and forth, and it's so far, I'm going to let you say it because so far I have broadcaster's courage.
Well, Courtney Pinkston, so far she has 2 errors here to start the third set, Cougars lead 2-0. And like I said, leading in kills for the team and struggled in set number 1, really showed up in set number 2, and they're feeding her again. She'll have a roll there. That one tipped by Nash. Stevens back set Shropshire and put down. Cougars with a field goal lead early. Freshman setter Kinsley Stevens is back to serve. Stevens just digs it up, and miscommunication from the Knights there.
So 4-0 start right here for the Cougars. It's kind of been back and forth. You know, the first set, Cougars got out to a 6-1 lead. And then you look into the second set, Southern Virginia got out to a 5-1 lead. So kind of back and forth here.
To start the games, right. I mean, these sets, none of them have been close to start, essentially. And a 5-0 run to begin a decisive set number 3. I always think the third set is huge. Just like a Game 5 in an NBA basketball series, down the line and in, though, from Pinkston. So on the board are the Knights now.
And, you know, usually when you see tough matchups, you see them go back and forth within the set with points. But so far in this one's kind of been weird going to the third set. It's been going back and forth in sets.
Right.
Cougars jumped out and had a commanding lead in the first. And Southern Virginia coming out and having a commanding lead in the second. And so far the Cougars up 5-1. So
Shropshire blocked there.
It's kind of weird to see them switching in sets and not points. But
right. I mean, normally you'd think it's points. Shropshire blocked again. So just roll this one over. Steigers there. Back set from Warnick. Stevens gets it to Nash in the middle. Fantastic dig from Hopkin. Nice adjustment from Pinkston. Now Montran gets a swing at it. Pinkston rolls over. Gray's there. Stevens back set to Shropshire. She'll put it down. Huge rally point there for the Cougars.
Huge play right there by number 6 there, Shropshire. You know, your 2-time player of the week in the USAC. Definitely somebody that you love having there on the floor at all times. And, you know, somebody we didn't really see in the second set. You know, she was out for most of the second set. So.
Right. What a play there by the Knights just to keep that alive, but not for long. Sophomore Emma Nash puts it down. Sub on here for the Knights. Ella Burrows. Montran serves it. Right back over from Pinkston. Mangum just has to send a free ball over from their free ball. Back set from Warnock. Mangum able to keep it alive. Shropshire full approach. Puts it down. What a spot from Sarah Shropshire.
You know, this set's got me wishing we had a mic'd up situation here on Coach Danny Miller, because I'd like to know what he had to say to the Cougars after that second set, because they are on fire right now.
Yes, they are.
Taking
Timeout.
an 8-1 lead.
Southern Virginia, 8-1 Cougars. We'll be back here on the Averett Sports Network.
I think Averett's a special place because of the camaraderie amongst everybody. I feel like it's a lot of friendships that won't be broken throughout my life, and it gave me a chance to show my abilities in wrestling and in the classroom.
We're back live here in the Grand Center. I'm Heath Beringer, joined by Chris Richmond, and just talking in that break, what a weird game, Chris said. I mean, well, match, to say the least. The sets have been good, but each start has just been a wash from either team. This is Stevens, back set to Shropshire. Blocked. Exactly what the Knights needed out of the timeout.
And you know, this is kind of what I expected out of Southern Virginia. The last two times that they called timeouts when they were down, they were able to respond very well coming out of the timeout. So, definitely how I expected Southern Virginia to answer back to the start of this one, but
Courtney Pinkston sends it over. Stevens back set to Shropshire. She'll put it down. That one looked easy.
And I know I mentioned it before, but it's such a different atmosphere here in the Grant Center, being able to have fans in, and it's just a different feeling. You have a whole lot more fun cheering your Cougars on when you have all your friends with you. So
that's right. Burrows with a block there. Barnes just has to send a free ball over. Warnick sets Burrows in the middle and straight out of bounds from the sophomore Ella Burrows. A St. George, Utah native. I mean, my goodness, you look at this roster. There's California, Idaho, North Carolina, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Pennsylvania, California, Utah. Everywhere, Chris. As a kill from Sydney Hopkins, the freshman.
like I mentioned before, the football team is the same way. I guess they like going out west and recruiting a lot in the western part of the country.
Well, you know what, Chris? If I was going recruiting and I had to pick somewhere to go, I think I'd go out west too, man. Mantra on the serve receive. Barnes outside, but blocked. That's Brianna Clyde and Taryn Karchner, a senior and a freshman, on the front line for the Knights.
And that's definitely not the duo you want to try to finish a kill through. 6 foot apiece.
Gray on the serve receive. Stevens to Mangum in the middle. Big approach, but blocked again. And my goodness, Tyron Karchner, a senior from Las Vegas, Nevada, putting on a show. Kind of turned around and kind of gave that Michael Jordan, I just hit 6 threes in the first half, a little shoulder shrug. Service ace from Caitlin Chamberlain, the freshman.
That was a good serve right there. Had that look that maybe it was going to touch the net, but didn't touch at all, and right in the middle of the Cougars.
Just floated. Right back in this ball game are the Knights. And that one in the net. Hey, commentators curse, you're working on both sides now, Chris. Okay,
Hey.
at least you're evening it up.
I'm trying to even the game here, trying to be as unbiased as possible.
That'll send back the sophomore, Kingsport, Tennessee native, Mackenzie Compton. Lefty sends it over. Pinkston on the serve receive. Big swing, a huge approach from the freshman, Brenna Clyde, and puts it down.
The way she jumped up to finish that kill with her height, I thought she was about to hit the American flag at the top of the Grant Center.
My goodness. This is Julia Monson, and she sails it out of bounds. It's a lot of just self-caused mistakes from the Knights so far here in this match through all the sets. That's Mangum sends it over. Warnock at the net with a dump, but Gray's all over it. Compton all the way out to Montran. Can't get a wrist down on that one. Montran sells it out of bounds. This is Sydney Hopkins, a freshman. She'll get an ace on the libero, Aaron Gray, and you do not see that often, Chris.
You do not see that often, especially after her freshman year campaign. The amount of digs she had, and that's a couple aces so far here for Southern Virginia in this third set.
Right back at her. Gets that one up. This is Barnes, but she just tips it, and the Knights keep it alive. Fantastic. I guess 2 hands is the call there on the Knights as they were trying to keep the ball alive. And the Cougars finally side out after that Knights run. This is Morgan Barnes. Almost gets an ace, but a diving effort by the libero for the Knights.
Just try to take advantage of the defensive set right there for Southern Virginia, had nobody up in that front left half of the course.
And a one-hander diving effort from the freshman Deason. Barnes is there. Compton keeps it out of the net. Nash straight down, but there is Warnick. And rolled right to Barnes from Pinkston. Marlowe. Pinkston again. She'll get the kill this time. And a back and forth play, a huge momentum swinger there from either side. Ella Burrows checks back in, and back to serve is Emma Steiger.
And that whole possession happened because of that diving play at the beginning coming off that serve.
Right.
It looked like Morgan Barnes was possibly going to get an ace right there because there was absolutely nobody in that top left corner, but a dive-in effort and was able to capitalize off it and get a point, leading to 2-point swing right here.
Yeah, Courtney Pinkston with a kill there, and the Knights have crawled all the way back into this one, only down 2. And kind of vice versa, we talked about in the second set. If Southern Virginia is able to come back and win this set, that one sails out of bounds. But being down almost 8-1 at one point, if they can come back and salvage and take this set, which is a huge set, the third set, that would be crushing for the Cougars. So a massive one on the line here as the freshman setter Kinsley Stevens goes back, sends it over.
And even like you mentioned before, even if they don't get this set, you know, they performed here before well down from 2 sets.
Right.
So.
Right. And didn't lose a lot from that roster. So
definitely a team that you're not going to count out in a game whatsoever.
That's right. In the net is Stevens there as Gray on the serve receive. Put the ball right near the net. Head coach Danny Miller didn't like that call. Lauren Monchman's going to get an answer from the up ref. Danny Miller has been doing this a long time in his 27th year here for the Cougars. Heading into the year is 637 and 311 overall record. Only 4 NCAA tournament appearances, though, in those 27 years, but he has been doing it a long time. Doesn't get the call there, and the Knights are within 1. And the Cougars side out. That one blocked by the Knights, but falls on their side.
And so far in this one, I don't think we've seen a lead change. I was about to talk about in that set that they have inched back and it was close to be a lead change, but I don't think we've seen one yet tonight.
No, the Cougars, here in this set at least, is a nice little floater there from Ella Burrows. Looked like Joe Burrow hitting the ball over the middle. Gets it over those linebackers, drops it in. That'll send back Courtney Pinkston. 1-point ball game, but you are correct. At least for sure in this set, not a lead change, and maybe not in the other two when you really think about it. Gray's there on the serve receive, just punches at it. Mangum full approach, blocked straight down by the freshman Rena Clyde along with Ella Burrows. Tie ball game here in set number 3. And on cue, I was going to say I would expect a timeout in a play or two, but Danny Miller calls it right then. 15 all here in the Grand Center in set number 3. We'll be right back on the Averett Sports Network.
Being a student athlete at Averett and being an RA, it is very time consuming, but it has gotten me, I'm much more involved than I was last year. I have really good relationships with all my residents that I didn't have before, and the student athlete, it's nice to be able to relate with my teammates and other student athletes. I'm kind of in the middle ground, so I get both sides, make those connections with both groups.
Welcome back live inside the Grant Center. Thanks for joining us here on the Averett Sports Network for this USA South Conference Showdown. I'm Heath Beringer, joined by Chris Richmond. Danny Miller out of the timeout. See if they can side out. This is Shropshire, and they do. Exactly what he drew up, huh, Chris?
Exactly what he drew up. I kind of got a peek of it on the board down there. So, you know, I kind of knew what was coming. But all jokes aside, you know, when you need your leaders will show up.
Right.
Excellent play right there by Sarah Shropshire.
And miscommunication, huge momentum swing out of the timeout, a kill, and basically a service ace from Aaron Gray, back to a 2-point lead now for the Cougars. Gray sends it over. Warnock sets Pinkston on the back row. This is Shropshire again. Another kill from Shropshire. Out of the timeout, a 3-0 run from the Cougars. Let's see how many points it takes for Debbie Baker to take a timeout for the Knights. If they don't side out here, I would expect a timeout, Chris. Gray sends it over.
You hit the nail on the head last time, so let's see if you predict it this time.
Stevens right back to Shropshire. The hot hand can't find the hardwood there. This is Hopkins, sails out of bounds. Well, never mind. A touch on the play from Averett. And there's the side out for the Knights, back to a 2-point game. And in checks Caitlin Chamberlain, the freshman from Reno, Nevada.
We've seen that a few times here tonight. A couple of hits that went out of bounds, but we expected the point to be from a service, or not service error, but going out of bounds. But it turns out that somebody touched it. And, you know, you could argue maybe, maybe not, but it's been equal on both sides. So
this is Compton now after that service error from the Knights. And a kill from the freshman Clyde. So now, finally, Chris, a little back and forth action between these two teams, as we've seen a lot of just runs from either side. But now we're getting into the thick of things in the third set. 2-point ball game, back and forth they go. And right into the net from Julia Monson. And the Knights are shooting theirself in the foot with all these service aces, or service errors, excuse me. I'll send back the freshman defensive specialist, Carly Deason. Warnock with a back set, blocked, but falls out of bounds from Barnes and Montran. I thought that was coming straight down, but didn't fall in bounds for the Cougars.
And like you mentioned, Deason, the defensive specialist, she's averaging right now 2.15 digs per set. So
another service error from the Knights. Hopkins sails that one out of bounds. Timeout, Southern Virginia. We'll be right back here on the Averett Sports Network.
What makes Averett special to me is the family-oriented and diverse background and communities. Here at Averett, we believe in one family, one team philosophy. As an RA, being able to guide people in the right direction and building a community helps me develop leadership. Also, being a leader on the football team and captain, it helps me guide people to be better each and every way.
Gonna bring you back live here in the Grant Center. Morgan Barnes is back to serve. Barnes sends it over. What a fantastic athletic play from Pinkston there. Just to keep it alive. Warnack right back to Pinkston. Full approach through the block of Nash and Marlowe. Back to a 2-point ball game. Burrows coming back in. And libero Emma Steiger back to serve. Steiger floats it over. Deason's there. Compton to Marlowe. Partially blocked, but back to Pinkston. Deason's there. Now Nash in the middle. Blocked and killed.
She said she got denied the first time, but she will not get denied again. Able to get a kill right there in that little rally.
Stevens checks back in. She'll go back to serve. Burrows will come back out, and Chamberlain come back in for the Knights.
I believe so far tonight, this is the closest it's been coming to the 20-point mark so far in all the sets.
100%. I mean, this is by far the closest set we've had, Chris, and it has been a fun one.
And believe it or not, it's split 1-1. So
right. It's not like it's been lopsided either way. Well, in either sets it has been, but not in the overall match, and especially here in the third set. Stevens put that one in the net. She'll back set Montran now, and she'll put it down. A huge kill from Lauren Montran. Averett 2 points away from taking the decisive set number 3. Montran goes back to serve. And roll from Pinkston. Now Shropshire on the back set from Stevens. She'll go outside to Mangum now. That one blocked. Nash, Pinkston diving effort. Play the net. Shropshire puts it up, puts it down. 1 point away now are the Cougars.
Good play there by Sarah Shropshire. Very hot, heads-up play as well. She realized how many they had pushing up on the floor, was able to just sit back and put it right there on the back side of the court. So,
back set from Warnack, and a kill on the slide from Chamberlain, and the Knights are still alive. That sends back Courtney Pinkston. Shropshire needing to wipe the floor up a bit. Pinkston ready to go now. Aaron Gray on the serve receive. Shropshire puts it up in the air, and Gray just sends a free ball over to the Knights. Warnack tip to the net. Cougars take set number 3, 25-21. We've got an exciting fourth set on the way here in the Grant Center. Don't go anywhere. Come back for set number 4 here on the Averett Sports Network. Welcome back inside the Grant Center here at Averett University's North Campus in Danville, Virginia. Thanks for joining us on the Averett Sports Network. I'm Heath Beringer, joined by Chris Richmond, and a huge fourth set here in this massive USA South clash. Chris, what do the Knights got to do to force a fifth set?
I would say, I mean, it might be plain to say, but do exactly what they did in the second set. Answer well off of losing a set. They were able to kind of calm down the miscues that they were having in the first set, in the second set, and able to capitalize off those plays. So they need to do exactly that here in the fourth set.
That's right. And Lauren Montran gets the Cougars underway with a kill.
And may I also mention, SVU also opened out that second set, the one that they won, with a 5-1 lead. So,
and they've got to start shooting or stop shooting themselves in the foot, just like the past 2 points, making errors, really just giving the Cougars points.
So pretty much the key in this one is how you start off the front of the set, because the leaders in the front of the set have been the ones to win the set. So.
Right. And 3-0 lead to start for the Cougars.
The Cougars looking just like they did in the third set, the way they started off. So it'd be interesting to see how Southern Virginia answers after they did the first one. And
Stevens sells that one out of bounds. It is a win or go home for the Knights, obviously. So they've got to dig deep and try to force that fifth set. This will be Courtney Pinkston back to serve.
It is something about them serves tonight on both sides.
Right. Stevens right at the net. Gets it to Montran. She just tips it over. Pinkston all the way from the back row. Keeps it alive. That one off the top of the net. Now to Shropshire, goes out wide. I thought she was able to get that one down, but she had to make an adjustment. It was just a nice adjustment to be able to get a clean swing on it.
And it's weird to say because there's been aces on both sides on the serves, but a lot of service errors as well. So, and so far, it's looked like the net has had a magnet in it the way that the ball has been hitting the net off the serve.
This is Pinkston. Nash, now Montran with a tip. Pinkston diving effort right at the net. Knights keep it alive. And Gray's there, now Deason out to Shropshire. Dug up by Steiger. And rolled into the net from the back row from Pinkston. Pinkston's that player for the Knights. If she's on, they're normally winning, but she's struggled here in a few sets in the Grant Center. And the Cougars have been able to come out on top. Montran bounces that one off the net. Knights keep it alive. Way out from a roll. Montran dives to keep it alive. Gray sends a free ball over. Warnack sets Hopkin, and she'll get a kill. Montran was there, but so much force from that swing. Just bounces over near Danny Miller. This is Caitlin Chamberlain. She'll get an ace. Right back in this ball game are the Knights of Southern Virginia. We're all tied up at 4.
And this is the first time we've seen a set like this, especially in the start being as close as it is.
Chamberlain sends it over. It's Montran on the serve receipt. Stevens with a dump. Nobody's home for the Knights. This will be Aaron Gray back to serve. Hopkin sails out of bounds. Tied up by the Knights and then back-to-back points by the Cougars. That's how you respond.
And still no lead change so far in this one.
Right. A tie, but nothing after that. Warnack all the way to Hopkin and sails it out of bounds again.
If you looked at the scores of this game, you would have thought somebody got 3-0'd, but this game is still 2-1 and a still competing one. So
right,
just a crazy game so far.
Warnock, the back row, and sailed out of bounds again by Pinkston. That is 3 straight errors from the Knights, and we've talked about it all match. This is not a team in the Cougars that you want to hand free points to. You cannot shoot yourself in the foot against this talented roster. Pinkston on the serve receive from Gray. Warnock all the way out to Clyde. She'll get the kill as the block from Barnes and Mangum falls out of bounds.
And number 3, Brenna Clyde, the freshman on that right side, looks very well here tonight. A lot of height, like we mentioned before, and a lot of athleticism, and she's getting some real good kills here tonight.
Yeah, she really is.
Also, on the other hand, defensively, she's getting a lot of good blocks as well. So
3-point ball game. Shropshire and Stevens working on the floor a bit. Trying to get it wiped down, and Julia Monson is waiting to get the okay from the up judge to get us back underway. Cougars looking to close out the Knights in 3 in this USA South clash. Montran on the serve receive to Stevens. Now Shropshire puts it down. Kinsey Compton checks in. She'll go back to serve. It's a big point right there from the Cougars. Pinkston on the serve receive. Warnock gets it right back to her. She'll roll it over. Gray's there. Compton out wide to Mangum. A bit off the net. Diving effort from Pinkston. This is Hopkin now down. I mean, some high flyers in this game, Chris.
And number 4, Sydney Hopkin, another freshman, and, you know, not much shorter than 6 foot at 5'10". So.
Right, and she can jump. He goes back to serve. Gray's on the serve receive. Compton in the middle to Barnes. Barnes sells it out of bounds. Right back to a 2-point ball game. Hopkin gets her key. Sends it over. Sells it out of bounds. And Chris, to be honest, with as many mistakes as the Knights have made tonight, just to be in this match is as impressive as itself. I mean, they have shot themselves in the foot many times with serves and errors, but they're hanging around. Barnes blocked.
And, you know, that just goes back to talk about, like, how much talent they have on that SVU team. You know, a lot of experience as well. They have, you know, they have a lot of miscues, but they are making some very good plays, and they're playing very well considering the fact.
Right.
So
just to be sticking around in the ballgame.
And, you know, that's something to be scared of, you know, to be in a game with a good team, with having miscues, you know, you find yourself imagining what if,
right?
You know, so
Barnes down.
It's very scary to see, you know, and especially talking in later part of the season.
Timeout, SVU. 12-7 in the 4th set. Averett looking to close them out in 4. We'll be right back here in the Grand Center on the Averett Sports Network.
I think Averett's a special place because of the camaraderie amongst everybody. I feel like it's a lot of friendships that won't be broken throughout my life, and it gave me a chance to show my abilities in wrestling and in the classroom.
And welcome back inside the Grand Center. Here on the Averett Sports Network, I'm Heath Banner, joined by Chris Richmond for a fantastic match we've had here tonight. 12-7. Cougars looking to get out of here with the 1-2 matchup preseason in 4 sets. But out of the timeout, Deason puts it in the net, the freshman, and the Knights are able to side out. I'm sure head coach Debbie Baker in her 4th season can take a deep breath after that one and see if her team can go on a little run and keep this match alive. This will be Emma Steiger to send it over. Compton keeps out of the net. Barnes with a tip. And my goodness, what a play from Ellie Warnick. Goes to have a jump set, pushes it right over. Deason was there, but wasn't expecting it. Back to a 3-point ball game. We've had a tie, but the Knights can't seem to get the lead. They've been within 2. The Cougars somehow find a way to stretch it right back out. Back set from Compton to Marlowe, partially blocked. This is Warnack, back set, and kill from Caitlin Chamberlain.
So a nice response back here from the timeout and leads to another timeout. So
Danny Miller takes one himself. We'll be right back here on the Averett Sports Network.
Being a student athlete here has definitely pushed me to do things that I have not been able to do in the past. Because of my team, I have opened up more socially, and they have pushed me to be a better athlete and a better student. And I wouldn't be who I am today if it weren't for them.
Welcome back live in the Grand Center. Danny Miller calls timeout. He had seen enough. The Knights are within 2, trying to stay alive. Montreal on the serve receive. Compton to Barnes in the middle. Blocked, but Deasons is there. Out wide to Montreal now. Dug up by Steiger. Rolled from Pinkston. Now Barnes in the middle, puts it down right from Compton. Back to a field goal lead for the Cougars. And yet not a lead change here in this match. Morgan Barnes back to serve. Floats it over, almost gets an ace, and does.
You know, Morgan Barnes being one of those people that you kind of look at as like, I wouldn't say an underdog, but, you know, someone who does a lot of work for the Cougars. And
right.
Probably doesn't get as much shine as she needs to.
Right. Pinkston with athletic play. Barnes is there right on cue. This is Marlowe. Finds the inline. A 3-0 run now for the Cougars.
You know, you're starting to see where timeouts are key. You know, you might not understand timeouts all the way. Like, what's the point of calling a timeout? Just go out there and play. But what you see in games like these where timeouts really control the momentum of the game.
They really do, the speed of it. Dug up by Barnes there, Montran. Touched and kill for Lauren Montran. Timeout, Southern Virginia. Don't go anywhere. Cougars trying to close it down to 4. We'll be right back here on the Averett Sports Network. The Grant Center here at Averett University's North Campus is rocking, Chris. The Cougars looking to come out with a win against a top opponent in Southern Virginia. Pinkston out of the timeout. Dug up by Barnes, but right back over. She'll get another swing. Deason is there. Now Marlowe. Dug up by Steiger, and Pinkston just has to roll it over. Compton to Nash. She'll tip it and gets a kill. Smart play by Emma Nash, the sophomore. And this one's slipping away from the Knights.
You know, this is something to think about. We keep talking about preseason rankings. Well, this is the first year Southern Virginia's been in the USAC. So, you know, that's kind of something to keep in mind. You're adding another good volleyball team into the mix as well. So,
a fantastic back set there from Ellie Warnock. And the Knights side out, trying to hang around and fight for their lives. Jump serve from Warnock. Montran's there. Back set to Marlowe. That one blocked and kept alive well. And spoke too soon. Nash couldn't get it back over the net. Back-to-back points for the Knights now.
There goes that net magnet I was talking about earlier.
This is the senior setter, Ellie Warnock from Delta, Utah. Montran on the serve receive. Compton gets it to Nash, who tips it. Warnock's there, but Nash will get the kill. Or Montran, excuse me.
You know, right there, the set kind of looked weird. It looked like she was expecting to be set up for a kill, but instead she kind of had to poke it up over the net, and it looked like it worked out for the in favor for the Cougars, because it looked like Southern Virginia was sitting there prepared for the kill as well, for the spike right there for the Cougars. So
right, and back to your point, like you were talking earlier, a setter being a very important position on the floor, and I compared it. The setter is a quarterback on the floor for this team, and you know, you said the sets are in different places, and they choose that. Not only they choose where they're going to go with the ball, they choose if it's going to be a 1, 2, 3. So it's all, you know, in their decision, what they're reading from the defense. So, yeah, they got to make a lot of decisions out there as the freshman Kinsley Stevens sends it over. This is Pinkston with a tip. Deason botches that one. Great effort from Sarah Shropshire, although.
Looks like she was running into the chair right there on that effort. Glad to see her pop up really quick and get back into this one. But
5-point ball game here in set number 4. This is Courtney Pinkston, the junior from Gilbert, Arizona. Into the net. She has struggled tonight with her serves. As Maya Mangum checks in for Deason. And the junior Lauren Montran goes back to serve. Pinkston on the serve receive. And a kill from Sydney Hopkin. A nice set from Warnock. Back to a 5-point ball game. The Knights can't seem to get over that 5-point edge. And the Cougars are just 6 points away from taking this match. Nash gets it to Stevens, but Shropshire just has to send a free ball over, and that one put down in the middle. Taryn Karchner.
Southern Virginia really chipping at this lead right now.
Yeah, that's a fantastic way to put it. They really are. Just kind of hanging around, and that's what you've got to do. Gray on the serve receive. Stevens to Shropshire. Warnock is there. And another kill. That's Brianna Clyde. And it's a 3-point ball game here in the 4th set.
And you know, this is something, being a football player is something I don't really think about, but in volleyball, it's so different. If you manage to fight back and get out of a set and win a set, you don't have to worry about that set no more, because you pop out and it's 0-0 again. You know, you kind of talk about, you know, having that 0-0 mentality in football and like halftime and stuff like that, you know.
But the score is still the score.
The score is still a score, but you actually have a 0-0 start. So that is something that will be huge for SVU right here, especially being 2-1.
Right, and as they shoot themselves in the foot again, Sydney Hopkins sells one out of bounds, lets the Cougars side out. They're 5 points away now. And exactly who you want back to serve if you're Averett, the sophomore libero, Aaron Gray. Right at the net as Harmack just has to tip it. Does Carnacher. Now Barnes blocked. That is massive block by Carnacher, the senior. Anytime Morgan Barnes has that type of, approach, a clean approach and a nice set, it can get dangerous. So if you can block that, that is massive. This is Monson back to serve now. 3-point ball game. Things quiet here in the Grand Center. Montran, now Barnes with a tip. Nobody's home. Actually pancaked up. No, called down. So Barnes with a nice smart play gets the kill on the tip. Back to a 4-point ball game.
From up here, it looked good. It looked like she got under that one. But
I did too. I mean, honestly, I think the ref up top on the stand was going to let it play, but one of the line judges called it down. Now Mackenzie Compton, the lefty, sends it over.
That looked about as clean as a pancake comes, you know what I mean? Popped straight up in the air, ball or hands slid across the court.
Barnes played the net, puts it down. And you're right, I agree. And that is a huge momentum swing there as the Cougars got that point. And now Barnes with the kill. And it's back to a 5-point ball game. And now just 3 points away are the Cougars. Hopkin, boom! Sydney Hopkin, powerful. Puts it down. 4-point ball game. She'll go back to serve now.
She's had a handful of hard kills so far
yes,
tonight.
she has. But also, some errors, swinging and serving.
And, that's kind of been the story of the night so far for Southern Virginia. They have a huge power play like that or a huge score, and they'll get on a little run, and then a little error like that will set them behind.
Right. And a fantastic dump there from Warnick, keeping the Knights alive. Now the libero, Emma Steiger, is back to serve. Floats that one. Montran dives. Compton gets there. Barnes has to send a free ball over. Steiger gets it to Warnack, but Compton's there for the dump. This is Marlowe. Deason with the dig. Back up at the net, and Gray is there from Pinkston. Barnes sails it out of bounds. Another big momentum point there. We're getting late into this match. Steiger jump serves, sails it out of bounds. Once again, the Knights shooting themselves in the foot. And the crowd's starting to stand here in the Grand Center. They've got their keys out. They're ready to go home. Morgan Barnes, the junior's back to serve. She'll send it over. The Knights are there. Warnack out wide, blocked by Nash and Marlowe. Now back set to the freshman. Deason trying to keep it alive, and they do. Nash sends it over. Warnack out wide. Montran diving effort. Another play at the net. Deason keeps it alive. My goodness. Slide for the Knights. What a rally. Free ball here for the Cougars. Let's see if they can put it away. This place is going to erupt. Nash blocked. Barnes out to Montran. Out of bounds. Not just yet.
Deason was being an absolute anchor right there for the Cougars.
What a rally, Chris. My goodness.
Every time SVU looked like they had a good look, Deason just somehow found a way to get her hands on that ball.
This is Allie Warnack, the senior setter, trying to keep the Knights alive. and aces. Montran thought it was out of bounds, floats right in behind her head. She'll go back to serve again. They're down by 2.
And you got to think something like that might have something to do with the amount of balls that have went out tonight. So
on serves, that is right. Warnock sends it over again. The Cougars a point away. The Grant Center on their feet. Compton to Nash, who tips it, blocked, but Gray's there. Compton out to Montran. Tipped. This is Pinkson. Tips and Deason's there. Compton to Marlowe. Puts it down. Cougars win. 25-22 in set number 4. What a match. My goodness, Chris. And honestly, it was all that we expected. The number 1 and 2 teams picked preseason in the East Division. And, you know, we got all we could ask for. Give me some final thoughts on the match, Chris.
I felt like you mentioned, this is exactly what you expected from this matchup. You know, 1 and 2 going back and forth. And if you ask me, that game would have been a completely different game and a closer game if it wasn't for all the miscues. I felt like a miscue was a key part in tonight, especially for Southern Virginia here tonight. Good team, was able to stick around, but I felt like it would have been a better game without the miscues.
100%. I mean, it could, you know, I don't think it's anything less to say it would go 5 if they wouldn't have had as many errors on swings and definitely service errors. But a game they could have won for sure. But a fantastic matchup. I'm sure down the road, maybe in the conference tournament, those two teams will match up again. But 25-22 in set number 4, the Cougars take it 3-1 over the Southern Virginia Knights. The Cougars move to 11-3 and 3-1 in the USA South. Thanks for joining us here on the Averett Sports Network. I'm Heath Barringer and Chris Richmond signing off.